Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Will piles of coal be a thing of the past? CPS Energy could be done with coal power within 5 years.
That is according to a plan the utilities board members passed 4-1 yesterday.
But as Garrett Berger tells us, it won't get the city all the way to its climate goals.
4-1, the motion carries.
Monday's vote clears the way for clearer air in San Antonio. The CPS Energy Board chose a blended portfolio for its power generation planning, a blend that excludes the utility's 2 remaining coal plants, Spruce 1 and 2 on Calaveras Lake.
It's a big polluter. It's good news for the air that we breathe.
The official deadline for CPS to get rid of coal generation is 2030, but the utility is planning on sooner. Its CEO says they'll have to shut down Spruce 1 by the end of 2027.
And then in between now and then, we can do the work we need to do to convert the Spruce 2 unit to natural gas.
A different fossil fuel that will continue to play a big part in the utility's power generation, despite other greener options on the table.
The portfolios with cleaner resources to replace it were better.
The utility CEO says they also plan to shut down some older natural gas plants. It says every power source has its challenge.
But when you have no wind and solar and you have no natural gas to back it up, if you have to go into the market to replace that capacity, then you're going to be buying natural gas.
San Antonio has a goal of being carbon neutral by 2050. And while this new portfolio would help it meet the 2030 target, it won't be enough to meet the 2040 or 2050 goals. But Mayor Ron Nirenberg, who serves on the CPS board, says this can't be the last change.
It would be a mistake for any of these scenarios for us to think we'd make a decision today and then we can turn away and let it carry on course.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
New video from the San Antonio Police Department this afternoon shows some of what happened the night that officers shot a man with a gun at a West Side motel earlier this month. This happened a little after 8:30 that night on January 4th. Officers responded to a call for a man making threats with a gun at the Luxury Inn in the 1400 block of Culebra. When they got there, a witness told them the man was in a second-floor room. Officer Joshua Nicholson could be heard on video saying he's going to knock on room 112. Nicholson does, announcing he's an officer. That suspect, Jose Iruegas, can be seen opening the door with a gun in his hand. When ordered to drop that gun, Iruegas points it at the officer. Both officers Nicholson and Ryan Tovar opened fire, hitting Iruegas several times. The gun that the suspect had, turned out to actually be a BB gun. That's according to records obtained by KSAT Investigates. Iruegas was taken to the hospital. He's still in critical condition. He's facing charges of terroristic threats against a police officer.
We now know the name of the man hit and killed by an SUV 2 days ago while crossing the street. The medical examiner identifying him as 73-year-old Jose Carmen Arriago. It happened in the 300 block of South General McMullen Sunday before noon. According to police, the driver of an SUV backing out didn't see Arriago crossing the street. The man died at the scene. We're told the driver did stop to try to help. Charges not expected to be filed against that driver. New at 6, a drug bust by Bexar County Sheriff's deputies leading to the discovery of heroin in a diaper underneath the shirt of one of the now arrested suspects. That discovery made during a traffic stop Sunday at Roosevelt Avenue on Loop 410. A canine deputy alerted to the smell of drugs found behind the rear passenger seat. The 4 people inside the vehicle also searched. That's when that diaper with a brick-like bundle of heroin laced with fentanyl was found. All 4 suspects charged with conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute more than 500 grams of heroin.
A man is facing charges in connection with a hit and run that killed a 25-year-old man last week. 43-year-old Alvin Bates is charged with failure to stop and render aid, resulting in death. The crash happened last Wednesday just before 7 a.m. on South WW White Road, just south of I-10. The victim, John Ortega, was hit while crossing the road there. Security footage showed that the vehicle Bates was allegedly driving hit Ortega and then drove off through a parking lot. Someone who works with Bates told police he saw blood on his vehicle. Bates was arrested on Monday.
After an alleged confession on day 1 of the trial today, the state presented evidence collected against Andre McDonald. He's on trial for the 2019 murder of his wife, Andreen McDonald. Our court reporter Erica Hernandez following the case.
Photo after photo of inside and outside of the McDonald home shown to jurors today. These photos taken on March 1st, 2019, the day Andreen McDonald was reported missing. A burn pile was found in the backyard of the home.
There was some burned plastic on the ground in the rocky area, and there was a zipper that was also burnt in that same area.
Crime scene investigator Kristen Schroeder took hundreds of photos of what was found, including blood on the bathroom door and light switch. Andreen McDonald's purse was found in her car. Also collected was Andre's cell phone. Text messages from the day she was allegedly murdered show the couple was arguing about a business Andreen was trying to start in her own name. The text also referenced an affair Andreen was allegedly having and a potential divorce.
I'm going to live by my own principles and protect myself from you under all circumstances. And if you bring up Albin again, I will file the divorce myself. Andreen, I don't care if you filed for divorce. You don't get to determine how I move forward.
The jury also saw video of Andre McDonald at the Lowe's on 1604 and Blanco, where he bought several items, including gas cans and a hatchet. That was the day after Andreen was reported missing. Testimony in this trial will continue tomorrow morning. If found guilty, Andre McDonald is facing up to life in prison. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
New at 6, so often pain forces people to use opioid painkillers. So the government is funding 5 studies across the country to create medicines for specific types of pain that are not opioid based. Courtney Friedman reports that one of those studies is happening at UT Health San Antonio, focused on jaw pain.
Research shows 80% of drug abuse from drugs like heroin and cocaine actually stem from painkillers. One type of persistent and debilitating pain that typically warrants medication is jaw pain.
It is extremely common. I mean, it's, I think, counted number 4 or 5 of overall pain conditions.
Dr. Armin Akopian is leading a UT Health San Antonio study that was just granted $9.8 million to research jaw pain in humans and eventually spur the creation of a non-opioid treatment.
It's a big deal.
They'll do that by performing jaw replacement surgeries and collecting muscle tissue to study.
Once they collect the tissue and specific cells, they put them here into this machine and use this needle-like instrument to poke it and see what type of reaction it gives.
They can then watch the movement and intensity with pictures and graphs like this. That information will hopefully help other teams create a safe drug to quell jaw pain.
We're always confident, but that's not only depends on us, it's a long procedure.
It could take 10 or even 25 years, but scientists and the government alike believe it could save lives. So the money and time invested will be worth it. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Check out traffic on this Tuesday, and we're going to take you to 410 in Marbach. It's actually 410 and actually as it hits Highway 90, you see right there, you see the flashing lights off in the distance. There's actually a car fire there. It's caused 2 lanes to be blocked. Again, it's 410 at Marbach as you hit Highway 90 there. It isn't backing up traffic all that bad, but there is a car fire in that area. Well, major advances in the world of science and technology are being made every day. Some of those advances are happening right here in the Alamo City. Today, Boeing announcing a huge contribution with the Kelly Heritage Foundation to Techport SA. As Jonathan Goto reports, the effort is to bridge STEM programs and education with workforce development.
Today, Boeing announcing its $2.3 million investment into area STEM talent and an exhibit developed out of the San Antonio Museum of Science and Technology.
So it's a very significant contribution. It's the largest and the most expensive exhibit.
That exhibit, Area 21 at SAMSET, the facility's latest museum.
So the center is really key to conveying to the general public and our students concepts of science and technology and making the bridge between the schools and the workforce and the customers for the technology.
And Techport SA now taking on a new name.
We've renamed the Techport Center the Boeing Center at Techport.
And the folks here at the Boeing Center at Techport say this is only the beginning. The future for the youth of San Antonio looking brighter.
Our profits go into funding educational activities, and with Boeing's support, We aim to bring 150,000 kids a year through this building, get at least 1,500 of them so excited they want to come back and participate in educational programs.
For one student who is hoping to one day major in software engineering, local investments in STEM programs are opening the door to future generations of innovators.
And I think it's really cool that all the students going here are just being given so many more new opportunities to do whatever they want here. When I first heard I was moving to Texas, I wasn't expecting something so advanced. This is something that you would see, like you said, in Silicon Valley. This is just so big.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Look outside with live cam. How much rain did you get? Hoping we all have some measurable rain out there. It was so nice to see because the aquifer really needed a drink. Sarah Spivey.
It really does. It could even use some more water at the moment, but the aquifer did go up half a foot just in the last 24 hours or so, but you can see it's still 30 feet below the monthly average. Here's some more good news. All that rain washed out a lot of the mountain cedar. Mountain cedar is present in low amounts today, and molds are low as well. Here's what we're going to talk about in the forecast. It's windy out there right now. It's going to stay windy tonight, even a wind chill in the air tomorrow morning. Gusts up to 25 plus miles per hour. Tomorrow in the morning in the hill country, a light freeze, close to freezing here in San Antonio. It's going to be cool for the remainder of the week. Sunny, but highs will be in the upper 50s. I'll give you these details, and we have the latest on some severe weather just south of Houston. A tornado reported. I'll show you that footage coming up in a bit.
Thank you, Sarah. News around Texas. The man charged with the shooting inside an El Paso Walmart that killed 23 people 3.5 years ago is pleading guilty. Patrick Cruzius is charged with hate crimes involving murder and attempted murder in one of the deadliest attacks on Latinos in modern U.S. history. The federal government will not seek the death penalty in the case, according to a filing document. Cruzius will be back in court February 8th. He's still facing Texas murder charges, though, state murder charges, and paperwork does indicate the El Paso district attorney plans to pursue the death penalty. Her home was destroyed by fire just days ago. Now a woman left with nothing says she's relying on the kindness of others.
You survive every day. How do you get through each day?
I pray. When science is okay, except now it's cold.
What she's been doing since the fire and how friends and neighbors are trying to help her out. That story on the Night Beat.
Let's take a look outside with Sky 12 flying high above Woodlawn Lake. A lot of places around our area getting some good rain, and some people wishing they got even more, Sarah.
Yeah, when you're in drought, it's never enough, really, honestly, especially when on average we saw about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain around San Antonio. We could use a little bit more, and we do have a couple chances for rain in the forecast over the next 7 days. I want to start, though, by showing some pictures that you, our viewers, sent in. This is Skywatcher. I love this. He says, glorious hydrometeors. By the way, that's a scientific name for a raindrop. Hydrometeor. This is a look out in Seguin, 1.5 inches of rain, and this is a look out near Adkins, about 1/2 inch of rainfall. We'll be talking about specific rainfall amounts coming up in the next half hour, but I want to show you just where this rain fell today. Here's a look at the drought monitor. You can see that extreme and exceptional bullseye right over northwest San Antonio into the hill country. All right, I'm going to turn on the radar, the rainfall amounts from earlier today. Bullseye right over that area. We got about 1/2 inch of rain at the airport, but in anywhere you see these dark greens, that's where about 1 inch of rain fell. So the rain fell right where it needed to today, and we'll be able to see the updated drought monitor on Thursday. They come out every Thursday. Now this evening it is windy out there. Take a look at wind gusts right now, gusting up to near 40 miles per hour at Stinson on the south side of San Antonio, gusting up to 33 miles per hour. It's going to be a breezy night tonight. We'll see wind gusts 25 plus miles per hour throughout the evening, and it'll become cold too. Temperatures are quickly going to get into the low 40s, even into the 30s by midnight. Our average low is about 41, so we're going to be even colder than that by the start of tomorrow morning. I want to show you, though, the weather setup across the state. Snowfall across northern Texas right now as we speak, and this box here is a tornado watch box for parts of Louisiana. It It was earlier today, though, that as this front was moving through the Houston area, that tornadoes were reported, at least one tornado reported south of Houston in Pasadena. Here's some footage of some of that damage that tornado caused across Pasadena, just south of Houston. You can see an overturned trailer there. What was a gym destroyed by this tornado as well. The National Weather Service in Houston is going to go out and survey damage and come up with a rating for this tornado. But so far, no reports of injuries. However, this is a developing story, so we'll continue to update you. But again, a very damaging tornado moved through South Houston near Pasadena in those areas. So if you have friends and family out there, give them a call, check on them, make sure they're doing okay. As for us back here in San Antonio, no severe weather for us in San Antonio, just some healthy rain in spots. We'll show you those rainfall totals in the next half hour. First, though, I want to take you through tomorrow morning. It's going to be cold tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be below freezing in the hill country, a light freeze in the hill country. The average last freeze in the hill country is the end of March, so we still got some time before we're done with the freezes. Here in San Antonio, it's the end of February. They're going to be 35 early tomorrow morning around San Antonio, mid-30s out west toward Del Rio, 37 in New Braunfels, but it will warm up during the day. Still a cool day. High temperatures will be in the upper 50s around San Antonio, mid-50s in the hill country, and then the low 60s out west toward Del Rio. Taking you through your KSAT 12-hour forecast early tomorrow morning. Bundle up in the morning. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s with a bit of a wind too. So wind chill is going to be a factor. It'll feel about 5 degrees colder than what the thermometer actually reads. Right around noon, it'll be 51 degrees. And then in the afternoon, we'll be looking at a high temperature again, right around 58, colder than average by about 5 degrees. Again, temperatures are going to be pretty cool in the coming days, especially in the mornings. Afternoons will be in the upper 50s, and there's that small chance for rain on Saturday. Right now we have it standing at about 30%. It's not looking like we're going to see as much healthy rain as we did this morning on Saturday, but it is a possibility. So keep on checking in with us. We'll be able to refine that forecast for the weekend.
Yeah, and keep the coat handy. Thank you, Sarah.
All right, the Spurs doing a lot of scoring, just not doing a lot of stopping.
Yeah, the defense disappeared, and more specifically, the transition defense, because the fast break points for Portland last night was off the charts here. When we come back, we'll hear from Pop about that, and what's with the Cowboys receiver drought coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs have now lost 10 of their last 12 games and still sit in second to last place in the Western Conference, with the Houston Rockets dead last. That's after their high-scoring blowout loss to the Trailblazers in Portland last night. Tip off a 3-game West Coast road trip that now moves to Los Angeles for back-to-back games with the Lakers and the Clippers. The Spurs had 8 players in double figures, including the entire starting lineup, led by Keldon Johnson with 20, and right behind him, rookie Jeremy Sohan with 18. Off the bench, the Spurs had 3 players in double digits as well, led by Doug McDermott, who had 13, including 3 for 3 from three-point range. The Spurs exchanged bucket for bucket in the first half to wind up tied at 74 all at halftime, but then turned around and gave up 45 points in the third quarter, a new season high, snapping the 0-1 set against the Warriors in the 50th anniversary game in the Alamodome. Damian Lillard was a part of that as he rained 37 points down on the Spurs in the 147-127 rout. One of the key stats last night was the fast break points. The Blazers scored 24 compared to the Spurs just 6.
We've got to concentrate on better team defense and really believe that that's a priority. We're not in a position where we can make that many mistakes defensively.
Now, before the Spurs take on the Lakers tomorrow night, the Lakers have to face the Clippers tonight in Los Angeles. That's where LeBron James is closing in on the all-time points record set by the Laker great and Hall of Famer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. As of right now, James needs 224 points to break Kareem's record of 38,387 points as the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. If LeBron keeps scoring at the pace he has set this season, that record could fall when the Lakers face the Oklahoma City Thunder on February the 7th. We'll see how that goes tonight and tomorrow against the Spurs. Here's that matchup. It'll be at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow night in Los Angeles.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
When you go back and look at the tape of the Cowboys' 19-12 loss to the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC divisional playoff game, only one wide receiver had a successful day. That was CeeDee Lamb, who had 10 catches for 117 yards. No one else was even close. The second best is Dalton Schultz, who had 5 catches for 27 yards and the only touchdown of the game. And how about this? Michael Gallup had 0 catches for 0 yards. That's why some folks are blaming the Cowboys front office for getting rid of Amari Cooper and later recognizing their mistake and signing T.Y. Hilton for just one season, who just had 1 catch for 15 yards. From his perspective, what does CeeDee Lamb see in the 2 interceptions given up by Dak?
One was good defense. The second one was on me, of course. Didn't see the guy. He jumped it, tip pass. Fred did a great job of, not letting it hit the ground. And first one, I don't even know what happened. I was running a route, and I turned around, and I saw he had the ball.
All right, the Houston Texans are interviewing Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka for the second time. That's after the Texans fired Lovie Smith after only 1 season, have now interviewed 8 coaches about replacing him. Kafka was responsible for turning around the Giants' offense this season that put them in the playoffs, only to be eliminated by the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC divisional playoffs. Kafka's interview will take place tomorrow, but before that happens, the Texans are sitting down with Broncos defensive coordinator Ejiro Evero today. And former Texans head coach Bill O'Brien is headed back to the New England Patriots as their offensive coordinator. That's after he served as the OC for Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide the last 2 seasons. In his first stint with the Patriots, O'Brien rose from quarterbacks coach to offensive coordinator before he's named the head coach at Penn State, before heading back to the NFL as the head coach of the Houston Texans from 2014 to 2020, before he was fired.
Are you surprised he hasn't got a head coaching gig in the NFL or college?
Not really. Not after, remember, they had wore the 2 hats of the Texans and practically destroyed the team.
He clearly
as a
didn't
GM.
end well, but it's not like Houston's rebounded since he left.
No, they haven't. But maybe we will now. We'll see what happens, whoever they hire.
Okay.
See?
Didn't sound too confident. We'll be right back.
The state of California, the site of 3 mass shootings in less than 2 days. The first on Saturday night in Monterey Park, then 2 more Monday. The first on Monday in Half Moon Bay, where a gunman opened fire, killing 7. Then another in Oakland, where 1 person was killed and 7 were injured. Isabel Rosales on the work to determine motives and the mounting calls for action on gun violence.
And this is unbelievable. This is terrible.
Less than 2 days after a gunman opened fire on a dance studio in Monterey Park, killing at least 11 people, another California community rocked by gun violence.
We have never experienced anything like this.
A gunman killing at least 7 people at a mushroom farm and near a trucking facility in Half Moon Bay Monday. The sheriff says children were present at the scene.
Our hearts are torn out of our chests for all these individuals and families.
The arrest of 66-year-old Chun-Li Zhao playing out before TV cameras. Authorities say Zhao had legal possession of a semi-automatic weapon in a state with some of the strongest gun laws in the country.
All of the evidence we have points to this being the instance of workplace violence. The Mounted Mushroom Farm, the first location, is where the subject was employed.
The U.S. has now had more mass shootings in 2023 than at this point in any year on record, according to the Gun Violence Archive. President Joe Biden reacting to the latest mass shooting, calling on Congress to act quickly and ban assault weapons. As authorities work to determine the motives behind these mass shootings, communities are honoring the lives stolen and trying to make sense of senseless acts. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
News around America now. A judge in Georgia ruling today that a final report by a grand jury investigating possible illegal interference in the 2020 presidential election in Georgia will stay secret for now. The Fulton County Superior Court judge considering the release of the report after hearing from prosecutors who wanted it kept under wraps until after they decide whether to press charges. A group of media organizations wants it released. The report is expected to include recommendations for the Fulton County District Attorney on possible criminal prosecution. The investigation is one of several that threaten potential legal consequences for the Republican former president as he seeks re-election in 2024.
To the U.S.-Mexico border now, where migrant crossings are actually down. They've dropped by more than half this month compared to last month, according to Homeland Security officials. In December, the crossings averaged about 7,000 a day, leading up to the anticipated end of the Title 42 immigration restriction. But the Supreme Court has put a temporary hold on its termination. President Joe Biden met with Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador to discuss immigration and issues at the border at the beginning of the year.
Big plans with a big price tag for San Antonio airports. $2.5 billion for a new expansion, but that won't happen overnight, of course. Max Massey spoke with the director of airports about the reasons for the project, the timetable, and the big plans for Stinson Airport.
It's easy. I'm looking at the flights, looking at the way everything's diagrammed. It just makes it so easy for myself, coming from different cities and all that, able to pinpoint where I need to go.
Jesse serves in the Army, and he sees airports around the world. Of course, he realizes how efficient San Antonio International is.
So I'm like, I think I showed up too early.
But this airport as we know it, it's going to look a lot different in the coming years.
It's a $5.2 billion economic impact to the city, the airport is. So, we want to continue to grow that.
The director of airports tells me this airport is a huge economic driver for our city. And the next step of the $2.5 billion expansion comes just next month.
We have some final renderings that we need to bring to council in the middle of February. Once we finalize those efforts, we'll start to work on the enabling projects.
And there are huge plans here at San Antonio International Airport, but it's not the only local airport that could see huge changes.
We went out to the community there at Stinson and sat down and talked about, 4 different alternatives that are available for the community to sit down and look at some of those alternatives.
The idea for Stinson could bring new opportunities, new runways, and new jobs. As for San Antonio International, with a long-term plan now underway, there's a lot of ideas being floated.
Everything's so simple, but a little more attraction to see and get to know San Antonio from the airport, and I have to go out.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
And on that note, we are joined by San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg for today's KSAT Q&A. Mr. Mayor, thank you for joining us. We had some technical difficulties. I'm glad we got all those figured out with you. But we just did a story on San Antonio Airport and Stinson and how they plan on working together to maybe give us more runways to use. Are you keeping track of this? How excited should we be about this prospect?
I think it's hard to overstate how excited we should be. The redevelopment of the San Antonio International Airport began in earnest as we formed a committee to really look at where our airport should be, and if in fact we can build an airport of the future where it's located right now at San Antonio International, it is a strategic competitive advantage for us because, name a top 10 city or a top 20 city for that matter that you can fly into the heart of the city and be 15 minutes away from anywhere or most places that you would want to go, whether you're a resident or a visitor. And we now have a plan that's in place. We have new terminals, new runway capacity, central processing facility, better ingress, egress. It will be a brand new airport for all practical purposes when this plan is completed. And we will be shovels in the ground by next year on the new terminal, and you'll be able to walk in it in 2028. So this is an extraordinary achievement for San Antonio. So big news on the way. It will be widely known nationally and internationally what we are doing with our airport and our air service here in San Antonio.
We'll all be on standby. That was for you.
I see what
that
you
was
did
for
there.
you.
Yeah.
We got to take a quick break. We have lots more to talk about, though, with you, Mayor. Stay with us right after this.